Week 9 in the SEC was full of close games, and that's not a surprise because this is the deepest conference in America. I know some of my Big Ten guys won't like that. This used to be a primarily Big Ten channel. The Big Ten's teams at the top are way better than the average SEC team at the top. Like Georgia, Alabama, A&M, I think collectively are worse than Indiana, Oregon, and Ohio State. And if you go down one or even two more teams, the margin in favor of the Big Ten, I think, probably gets better. But the SEC's bottom feeders are much better than the Big Ten's bottom feeders. Mississippi State is a much better team this year than Purdue, for example. They're better than Wisconsin. Before I continue, liking the video, watching the video all the way through, and commenting your thoughts down below are the best ways to support the channel as they help push me into the algorithm, help me to receive a larger paycheck that I can use to reinvest in producing elite analysis for you all. Subscribing to the channel, hitting the notification bell, sharing the video around, and supporting us in other ways that you can find out via the description are other awesome ways to support our operation at College Football with Sam. We are becoming the best. We want to be the best. Thank you all for making that possible. The SEC is the deepest conference in the league, and with how they've built out their schedule, it makes for some awesome football games. So let's talk about these. Oklahoma lost to Ole Miss. Painful loss for the Sooners. Needed win for Ole Miss if they want to get a home game in the playoffs. Excellent win. Lane Kiffin, I think, has had one of the best coaching performances of the year, and the Rebels move on. They're in the playoff picture. They're even in the picture for Atlanta if some chaos happens and say that A&M or Alabama lose a game. They're in that picture. So Trinidad Chambliss, fantastic performance. Oklahoma needs to get better on defense and pass defense, and hopefully they can find more of a run identity because Mateer is not meant to carry you in shootouts, and they tried to do that in this game, just didn't work. Auburn escapes Arkansas. I still don't think Hugh Freeze survives or even deserves to survive. They did not have a good game plan. I just think they out-talented Arkansas. That's really all I have to say there. 133-24. Don't see how this team is going to beat Vanderbilt or Alabama based on how they've played. And at that point, you're 6-6. Do you really want to keep Hugh Freeze around? I don't know. Alabama escapes South Carolina on the road 29-22. A lot of road teams winning in the SEC. That's actually something I just noticed. Road teams in the SEC were what? 6-1? It's crazy. 6-1. And all of these wins outside of Tennessee and A&M were by single digits. That's insane. That's crazy. And again, that's how competitive this conference is. Alabama wins 29-22 over South Carolina. Not a good win, but Alabama is still one of the best teams in America. It's a similar thing, honestly, to like Ohio State beats Texas at home 14-7, and we've seen that Texas is not a top 10 quality team. Like sometimes these great elite teams, Ohio State, Indiana traveling to Iowa, Alabama traveling to SC, sometimes you play it close and you have to find a way to win, and you do. The difference between those two teams in Alabama is Alabama's that ugly Florida State loss, of course. But flukish things happen. Think about Ohio State, Michigan last year. I still think Alabama's one of the best teams in the land. Vanderbilt beats Missouri despite being outgained by nearly 100 yards. Missouri starting quarterback Bo Pribula is likely done for the year. Vanderbilt is in the Atlanta and college football playoff conversation. Phenomenal coaching job by Clark Lee. Their only losses to an Alabama team that people I trust have power rated number 1. I will have power rated number 1 and number 2. You'll find out tonight, Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Good win for Vanderbilt. For Texas and Mississippi State, 45-38 Texas in overtime. If Texas puts all of their potential together, Manning's played well at times this year. The defense at times looked like the best defense in America. The O-line against Ohio State looked good. If they play to their ceiling, in theory, they could win it all. The problem is I don't know if they can play to their ceiling because through 8 games, they've never played to it. Even in the Oklahoma game. Maybe the OU game was the one game they played to their ceiling collectively. That's probably it. They need to find consistency here. And they need to find it quickly, because if they don't, they could lose to Vanderbilt, they could lose to Georgia, they could lose to Texas A&M, they could even lose to Arkansas if they don't find their footing. They have 4 losable games in November. That is not a good sign when you've already had 2 losses. And I do not think 9-3 Texas gets in with the schedule. I could be wrong there, but especially if Oklahoma continues to lose some games, Kentucky's a pretty bad team, Mississippi State's pretty bad, their non-conference outside of Ohio State's pretty weak. Texas needs to win out here if they want to get in the playoffs and be in a favorable enough position to win a title or at least to win a playoff game and not have the season be a failure. They got to win out. Going to be tough, but they keep finding ways to win. And at this point, if you're Texas, a win is a win as long as you keep winning. A&M crushes LSU. I think Brian Kelly's going to get fired straight up. As for A&M, much like with Kiffin and Clark Lee at Ole Miss and Vanderbilt, they have one of the best coaching jobs and staffs in America. 49-25 on the road against an LSU team that is not one of the 10 or 15 best teams, but is probably one of the 25 best teams in power ratings. That's impressive. They got Kelly fired. Would not be shocked if Kelly but if LSU and Kelly part ways even today. Certainly at the end of the year they will. Tennessee crushes Kentucky. That's kind of history between these two under Heupel. Tennessee's defense has a lot of concerns, but their offense, when it faces a really all year outside of the Alabama game, it's done a pretty impressive job. These are the current SEC standings. A&M and Alabama look like to be on a collision course to Atlanta in the SEC championship game. Looks like they're going to be on a collision course there. Georgia, Ole Miss, Vandy, and even Texas could be in that conversation. Could be. But even if A&M and Alabama drop a game, depending on who it is, they could still find their way to a matchup in Atlanta, which I'm honestly rooting for. It'd be different. It'd be A&M's first trip to Atlanta. And the SEC, they're beating up on each other, but Georgia, Alabama, and A&M can certainly win it all. If Texas puts everything together, they probably could too. That's the Week 9 SEC slate. I imagine the rest of November will be filled with plentiful amounts of quality games. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure, if you haven't already, to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, comment your analysis and thoughts down below so I can reciprocate my thoughts with you in the comment section, and check out anything on these end screens that are up here. Whether it's a recommended video or playlists for teams that I'm talking about in a preview, prediction, or a reaction, make sure to hit the notification bell on those, scroll through them, and watch any suggested videos if you are interested. Thank you for helping College Football with Sam become the best and the biggest college football brand and channel on YouTube and other social media platforms. We will reach that one day because of your support.